da ba ba. Boo ba ba ba. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Take a chance. Too far. Just gonna turn that rain down a little bit. It's just a bit high for me. Come on, just go. Come on. Come on, just a knot. Okay, there we go. I think that's probably good. Okay. There we go. Okay. My chair is sinking. I don't care for that. Minimize. Should have had all this ready beforehand, but here we are. I'm just gonna go ahead and share my stream with others. Gonna be kind of a short one. I do have a an engagement tonight. Yes. So I'm just gonna be working on these notes for this page for my client. And getting stuff done. I'm just trying to get my windows in order. So I've got a lot of them today. Okay, that's probably... Oopsies. Come on. There we go. That's probably fine. Okay. Alright. We're in it to win it, guys. Is my mic even on? Okay, good, it is. I turned it off earlier, and I didn't remember turning it back on again, so that's on me. Crackin' jokes! Yep. Crackin' jokes. How you doing there, sport? How's it going, champ? I need to send a text. Uno momento. Boo-boo. Done. Okay. I'm really popular today, but I need to keep my phone on, so I apologize if it goes off a bunch.
That I sent her an invite. How's everybody doing tonight?
Did he send me that invite? Hang on. Good to see you. Been doing well today? How about yourself? I've been doing good. A little weird. Had a moment where I had to go in and do a bunch of cleaning. Oh, thanks, dude. I walked out into the living room and there was just like bugs on the floor. And I don't know where they came from. There was nothing around for them to want or need. They were just there.
There you go.
So I went on a bit of a cleaning rampage just to make absolutely sure, but it's taken care of now. It was just weird. It was really weird. So let me just pull up my email. I'm gonna get into that chat. I think this is the correct email. Wow, it sure is. Okay, I better mute his stream so we're not doubling up on his voice. Oh, hang on. Oh gosh, okay. And invite. Which one of these is the invite? It's the... Oh, nope, wait. That's the Patreon. Is this one? Yes, it is. Haha, okay. Yeah, allow, yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. I don't have a camera. Deal with it. I'm politely asking permission to say hello to my friend.
Hey!
How's it going?
I love that I caught that. It's just I'm turning your volume up. Your audio should be good.
Okay, good. Cool. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. A little chaotic today, but good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your it was funny because you were like, hey, let me know if you want to chat tonight. And then you were like immediately like, oh no, I have to do something. And I was like, oh, really playing with my emotions there.
Well, I like to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
No, I stepped out into the living room to make my way into the kitchen, and I looked down next to the sliding back door, and there was just a pile of rice on the floor, and I was like, wow, that's weird. Why is there a pile of rice on the floor? And then it was, oh no, that's not rice. Oh no, why is that there? And it was just, yeah, there was nothing there.
Was it maggots?
It was. It was weird. It was super weird because like that whole part of that room, there are trash cans, but there's no food in that trash can. There's none of it. And there was nothing else on the floor. There was nothing else for them to want. They were just there. It was the strangest thing. They weren't there earlier. So that's what I was cleaning. And then I ended up going into like, well, if they could just manifest themselves anywhere, I better check everything. So we're good. We're maggot free now.
Well, people had asked me before, does Maya seem like the kind of person that would have maggots in her home? Like people have just asked me that, like,
oh, I know,
totally
obviously.
cold.
Yeah,
and,
I gave off that impression.
Yeah, the answer is clearly yes. That your
Apparently.
instincts were correct. We got your letters, America, and the answer is yes. She has it's all over her house. That's pretty crazy. I so maggots instantly strike terror into people because they're so okay. Would you say maggots are more like what if okay? I'm going to give you a hypothetical. We're
Okay.
going to do a little thought size, and I don't know what the object of this is. It's just curiosity.
Uh huh.
Um, okay, 20 cockroaches in a room,
Uh huh.
or like 300 maggots.
300 maggots. I would so much rather deal with that. 300
Yeah,
maggots, you clean that up, it's done, it's gone, and maybe you'll have a fly or two that made it past you. You got 20 cockroaches, you actually have more like 1,000 of them, and you don't know yet.
yeah, that's
Mm-mm.
true.
This is super. This is an easy answer. I
Yeah,
just went
no,
through that.
no, I think that sounds agreeable to me as a thought process because it's like yeah, I mean, roaches are disgusting, and they're kind of horrifying. I mean, I don't want to sound like
No, please.
a
No.
fragile little porcelain doll, but like, you remember once a roach ran up my arm
Ooh, ooh.
because I picked up a T-shirt off the floor in my old apartment. This is back when Ryan was a bachelor, and by that I mean a filthy piece of shit that didn't clean up enough. Um, and yeah, I was picking a T-shirt up off the floor, and it was some corner that I hadn't swept in like I don't know, maybe 140 years, and this cockroach came out of the T-shirt and ran up my arm, and then ran over my shoulder, and I could feel it on my back for a second before I knocked it off,
Oh.
and I was so upset. I was like indignant. Like I was like I couldn't believe that it did that, which is weird. Like as if he and
How
I
dare it?
as if as if we had some agreement not to do that, you know. Um yeah, no, roaches are empirically the worst things. But they have to serve some kind of important function, right? On the planet. What do they do?
Which ones? Both? Either? Uh,
Roaches. Maggots, I get what they do. They form and they eat rotted stuff.
yeah.
But
Well, roaches are part of the decomposition cycle too. They're actually also pretty important, just not in my apartment.
yeah,
There's nothing
yeah,
rotting in here.
you
Only
don't
my
need a
soul.
decomposition idea. Only my soul.
Only my
The only
soul
thing
upon seeing a roach.
decomposing is my childhood worldview.
Ugh, that too. My need to stay in California, decomposing by the minute. Take
Oh
me,
yeah,
roaches.
take me roaches.
Just take me now.
That's actually the name of Gigi's upcoming album.
This is Take Me Roaches with Maya's instrumental experimental saxophone, which is the very fancy and nomenclature way of saying she can't play the saxophone.
You have to do it like your NPR and like molest the microphone.
Oh,
with
oh
your
yeah,
mouth.
here. And next on the docket, we have
Yeah.
Maya out here with her experimental saxophone and her cha-cha slide chanting group. We will have them
followed
at...
by followed by Vietnamese throwing from a convent. It's like this is really obscure.
They
Yeah.
will be here at the Tiny Desk concert sometime next week, and we hope you have a fantastic Native American dinner night. Good night.
Native American dinner night.
I don't know. I'm just thinking
That's-
what MDR
no,
would
that
say.
sounds real. That sounds real. I would believe that. I'm a typical coastal person. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, totally.
It's just Thanksgiving.
There's got to be some kind of state law that requires independent or like, NPR style radio hosts to speak very softly into microphones.
Uh,
I don't know.
I
It's
don't
got to be
either.
something. It's got to be legislated. I think there's a reason.
It's you know what I think it is. It's that have you heard the phrase, oh god, what's it called, convergent evolution? That's not the word. Hang on. Is it convergent? I was right. Convergent evolution. Okay. The definition is the process where distantly related organisms independently evolve similar traits or features as a result of adapting to similar environments or ecological niches. I'm saying each of these, like, DJs, different species, becoming the same
Mhm.
animal. The niche has been found.
Yeah, that we're gonna jump right into the esoterics tonight, guys.
Oh yeah,
So have
no,
you ever heard of?
sorry.
Have you, it's great. I love it. This is what I live for. Have you ever heard of the morphogenic theory?
That what? Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry. Have you ever heard of the morphogenic theory?
No, tell me.
So, it's really interesting. It's been used in conversations about. So, like, I'm going to give you some context for it first. That UFO sightings and people who claim to have had experiences with aliens,
Mm-hmm.
of which there are literally now millions of people dating back to like the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Almost in every case, well, I think maybe not even almost, maybe every single case, the creatures encounter are bipedal.
Mm-hmm.
They're two arms, two legs, and a head like us. And the head varies in its shape, and the limbs vary in their proportions, but generally they're all bipedal.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of those things where people are always like, well, that's probably fake, right? People are making it up because why? But it's like, the thing is, people are who make it up and people who are telling the truth are, they're all doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're all saying they're encountering bipeds. And the theory of the morphogenic field. Oh wow, this drawing of Canterbury is way too handsome. He's this is not. I have to redraw this.
Uh-oh.
He looks like a.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
him?
Yeah, he looks a mono.
He looks like the Giga Chad meme.
A little
It's
bit.
terrible.
He looks like he's in a manhwa and he's gonna make out with like some nondescript young woman.
Yeah. It's gonna be some super dom relationship. So the morphogenic field is a theory that and it's addressing a phenomenon on Earth, from what I understand, where two different creatures that are similar in their evolutionary like makeup will make similar discoveries at the same time across great distances with no connection to each other that we can perceive. So like an example that they gave was like, a chimp, a chimpanzee on one side of the planet learns to use tools briefly, like they're beginning to learn, and then at the same time, another ape on a when I say another ape, I mean another species, like collectively on a different island with no connection, learn at the exact same time, like within the same century or span of years. So the idea of the morphogenic field is that it's like a field of energy that we don't really understand yet that actually transmits evolutionary information. So if something works evolutionarily like us, like our body work really well with two arms, two legs, and a head, like that model works really well for our particular brain, our particular needs of our brain and our physical needs. So as a result, nature is doing it again and again, even among species that haven't had contact with us. That's the theory.
So what's interesting with that theory, I can't speak on the energy aspect of it. That gets just a little bit more, blurring the line between the sci-fi and the spiritual kind of a thing for me. But the everything else where like things just kind of happening at the same time. I wish I had an example on hand to throw into this conversation, but like that's a thing. Like there are points where like two different groups of humans around the same time discovered or invented a very similar thing at the same time. And you could point out and say there are just enough smart people on the planet, and this is such a need that both groups found themselves trying to fill that need at the same time, which then just correlates right back to convergent evolution, which is not the same thing, but it's kind of similar, right?
Yeah. I will say the word energy, that was my word. I don't think anybody else has used that word addressing this that I know of. It's just for the lack of a better term, I think it's called like a field of information kind of thing. But anyways, that is interesting though, your response. I don't know. I mean, I like it. Because it does connect us to plant life a little bit, because like plants will do that, where like one plant will get eaten. It'll get eaten by a herbivore, and then another plant of the same species that's like a mile away will start to taste different because it responded to the information from the other plant that like they're being eaten. So like it'll make itself taste worse, so people don't want to eat it.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like crazy shit like that when that happens.
I know mushrooms have a communication kind of system where like depending on what, because a lot of mushrooms they'll grow only around certain environments and around specific types of tree, and so they'll sort of have this communication system with the tree. They have a symbiotic relationship with them underground with the mycelium and the roots and everything. Where if the mushroom's like, hey, I need nitrogen. Do you need more oxygen? I can trade, and the tree will respond like, yeah, you can have more oxygen or more whatever. It's really strange. I don't know how we know this.
Pretty
I
awesome.
watched the documentary, but it was also like by somebody who's trying to sell you mushroom stuff. So, salt.
Yeah.
But it's good mushroom stuff. I like it. I mean, I don't know if it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. I
but-
mean, mushrooms are amazing and they are very useful. So,
yeah.
but
Super
I know some
wild.
people who do like the micro dosing thing.
Dude, I want to try it.
Yeah, you think you'll do it?
Yeah, at some point. I think I'd feel more comfortable doing it if I wasn't in a part in my life where I'm working with children. I just don't
Sure.
want to find myself in a position where, because there's not really a safe, consistent way to make sure that whatever your microdose is actually the exact same. And I'm not going to go into work one day and say, wow, look at all the cats on the walls, guys. All the cats on the walls. What's wrong with Miss Maya today? Oh, she's just funny. Just funny. As always.
She ate a funny plant. Leave her alone for about 6 to 8 hours.
I'm not having that conversation with my boss.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't.
understandable.
Yeah, I don't even smoke in the morning or anything because of that too. Like, not that I ever really wanted to, but sometimes I like to when I'm gonna do some work, just because it helps me to relax if I'm a little bit too like kind of pent up and can't get past
Yeah.
my own like mental boundaries. But if I'm teaching later that day, absolutely not. Hard pass.
Yeah. I mean, how many days a week do you teach? Every day, or-
Usually 5, but recently I'm cutting back to 4 so I can make more time for freelance.
That's great.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a problem you want.
Yeah.
You want to be able to say like, hey, I need more time for my art, and then you put a cigarette out on them, keep one in their eye.
Yeah, just step aside, plebeian pedestrian.
Dressed like Cruella de Vil.
Oh, I would
Um,
so rock that.
Yeah, the big fur coat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to look like a divorced woman. A divorced rich woman.
Yeah, that's a vibe. That's aesthetic. What was I gonna say? Oh, so aside from a horror, a plague of maggots eating your home, how
Inside
are
out.
you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I, still waiting on some paperwork for another project that I'm very much looking forward to working on, but it's been, slow. But the entertainment industry tends to be. It's either really slow or really fast, and there's no in between. You rarely
Is
get a
this-
good clip.
Is this one of the projects you're talking about?
Yeah, this is the one that's based off of the short film. We're just waiting for that contract, and I need a script, but we're not going to get that going until there's a contract, and that just ran in like an absolute crazed feral beast. Okay.
Oh,
He's okay.
I love when cats do that. I love when cats are like, I've suddenly decided I'm rushing about something.
He is. He's certainly doing that.
I saw a meme it was really funny. It was a picture of a cat with its eyes bulging out like it was surprised, and the meme said, "When it's 3 a.m. and you forgot that when it's 3 a.m. and you're late for running up and down the hallway for no reason."
That's very good.
I was like, yes, that's precisely my experience. I'm still learning about cats. This is my first real cat pet, and fascinating, strange,
Strange animals.
bewildering, eccentric creatures. Today he spent, and anyone watching this, I have a cat named Sesame who I sometimes post pictures of in my Discord for the pervs who are looking at cats. Today he for some reason sat underneath, because cats like to sit on a window and look outside at the world. Today he sat underneath the window and was looking up at something above the window, like on the outside, like something in a tree, I guess, that I couldn't see. But he stared at it for maybe an hour, like not moving at all. And I don't know what the hell was happening.
Bird.
It must have, I couldn't see a bird. I could hear a bird, but I couldn't see it. But the thing is, usually a bird, he's like, he wants that, and this time he just sat and he looked at it with with utter focus that was unbroken for, I'm not kidding, like 52 minutes.
Has he chirped yet?
Describe chirping.
They'll look at something, usually a bird, and then their eyes will go like really kind of scary wide, and they'll like flatten their ears out, and with their whole mouth opening all at once, they'll just go.
Whoa, no.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
I'm pretty sure if he did that, I would call an old priest and a young priest immediately. Like the power of Christ compels you. No, he does weird things that even my wife, who is a longtime cat lover, even she's like, I don't know what the hell that was. Like he does things where he'll sometimes, even when he's just like playing or having a good time, he'll just look at you and go, like he'll just like crack his mouth open and make that noise, and I'll be like, what was that? I don't know.
Wow. He's
Yeah,
got an attitude.
Is that what it is? I mean, does your cat?
No, my cats don't do that.
Okay.
So like
Strange animal.
Tyrant was still a kitten when I took him out from the outside world, and Dante was always an inside cat. So I think they're accustomed to being a little manhandled.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even the vet, when I took Tyrant in to get his first checkup, they were like, he's really chill. Like he's actually accustomed to being around people. So whatever it is he's doing is probably like human. Oh right.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just they're interesting animals because you can't really, with a dog you can pretty much tell what he's doing, what he or she is up to, what they want. You know, they're not simple, like they're just as complex and intelligent, but they also like they're very, they telegraph their a lot. A cat, for me, my experience with him is that he does feel like a wilder animal, where it's like, you know, he's like still he's on his own business. You know, he's doing his own thing, and we're just there.
You just
But
allowed him into your territory, and now he's in charge.
yeah, I know. We yeah, we let an alpha in, and now we're both whipped.
Yep, sorry, that's how it is. I posted up a video of what cat chirping looks like. It's a little weird because like sometimes if there's multiple cats, and if one of them starts doing it, a couple of them will also then start doing it. It's eerie.
Like high-waisted jeans.
Yeah. What?
I said like high-waisted jeans, like when everybody just starts imitating the fashion. You get it. You
Yeah,
get what
I
I'm
get
saying.
it. I do get it.
You do. Everybody did it right, guys. And I look around, and everybody's gone.
Just out of here.
What are you working on tonight?
I got some notes on some pencils I did, so I'm just making those adjustments. Adding a few tidbits, changing poses.
Are you live right now?
I am.
Hello to the corner of the internet that is Gigi's page.
They're all here. They're all on your page.
Oh, are they? Did everybody leave your thing and go to mine? Is that because we have like all the friends?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I don't really care. I mostly
Yeah.
stream for the same reason Dan streams, is that it just kind of gives me a little bit of accountability to stay focused.
Yeah. Yeah. I stream. I stream because I'm a greedy monster.
I need to be
want more
greedier.
attention. No, I truthfully, I actually really enjoy it. It's become like I look forward to it every time I do it.
Oh, good.
And like the goal of getting monetized that I initially had, it's like kind of rocks where I'm like, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I'm still going to do it because it's a really good way of, you know, like people who've read my work. It's like, oh, here, now you can hang out with me while I do it and see, and it'll dispel any myths that they have that I'm some kind of intelligent person.
See how the hot dog's made, folks. Here we are.
See how the sausage gets stuffed with horse hooves.
Oh, whoa, whoa, okay. It would have been really wild if you were drawing one of the horses in that moment.
Oh no, yeah, that would have been. That's a level of iron I can't come back from.
I don't think you can get out of like calling it a Canterbury sausage right now either. That might be a little bit too much.
Oh, Nim says my cat decided that when mom is not in her wheelchair, Betty is her personal throne.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Yeah. So your cat taking your chair. Yes, that happens here too. I'm sitting at my chair right now, but sometimes he'll come up to it and he'll scratch on it, like, and whine, and then I'll stand up to see what he wants, and he'll just jump in the damn chair and be like, "This is what I wanted."
I have a great solution for you.
What?
Get him his own chair. That's what Wilson did for his cat Dante. We have an office chair that's just the seat with no backing on it, and that's just Dante's chair now. It always goes next to Will's desk no matter what.
What if what he wants is just to take something from me?
Then he will probably continue to take. In that case, you have tried to appease the Viking, and the
Yeah.
it's just you do your best.
You know, it's like, yeah, you try to appease an invader, and he's like, no, no, you don't understand. We don't want your things. We want to take your things from you.
It's all about the play, man. You don't understand. It's a dominance thing.
Yeah, I know.
Just,
I can
just let
feel
me pee in your village. It's fine.
it. Let me pee in your village. Well, jokes aside, the cat is actually quite submissive. He just begs a lot for things. That's his. I think he realized force wasn't going to get him anywhere, so instead he's just like, look at me, I'm 7 pounds and super cute, and you don't have a baby, so I'm the thing that I'm taking up all that energy. Because I think about, if we get to start a family, I'm going to look at this cat, I'm going to be like, who the hell are you? You're not my child, you're a stranger.
Do you think he's gonna get jealous, or do you think he's gonna get excited? Like, some animals really love children.
Yeah, I've wondered about that, if because I've heard both sides of it with cats, where they get jealous, and others I've seen footage of cats like straight up saving children's lives. Like, so I don't really know which of those he get, but he's kind of a prick sometimes. He's also super cuddly, so I don't know which way he's gonna go. I just hope he's like, I hope it's not one of those things where he like sits on a baby's face and chokes it in the night or something like that.
Oh, probably not. I mean, that's pretty mythological right there.
Yeah, it's like probably an old wives' tale or something.
Well, it makes me think of like not changelings. There's like that painting of a demon just sitting on somebody's chest, and it's based off of like an actual folklore about cats sitting on chests and stealing your soul out of your mouth or something like that.
Was it cats? I thought it was just like demons or something.
I've heard it for both, but I could not tell you where I heard it.
I think the painting might be called The Nightmare, and it's like, and there's a figure of like a horse in the background, and
there
he's
is
these insane eyes. Yeah,
the dopiest looking horse in the world. I love him.
Oh my god, it's a really great painting because it's really unnerving. You know.
Okay, you know what? Actually, you might know what I'm talking about. I had the hardest time searching a specific painting or series of paintings yesterday, and it's driving me nuts. But Will and I decided that we're gonna go through just like an hour or two at a time and watch the 10 Commandments. And a lot of the set design and the way that they compose where everybody's standing in a scene just made me think of these paintings that are like these it's kind of same time period where it'll be like a king sitting on a throne, but he's like a Byzantine king or something, and he's got like big robes and like leopards next to him, but the painting itself is like soft pastels and very ambient, and it's driving me nuts.
It's not the one with the lady who has like a severed head in the foreground, right?
I don't think so. That sounds like that one woman who's killing the guy who was her assaulter. And that's a much more Baroque, and this is more, I think it's an Orientalist painting. Very, like, it's a little bit more implied. It's a later, so it would have been, late 1800s, early 1900s.
Be really amazing if I actually knew what the answer was. I wish I was that cool where I could, like, roll my eyes back in my head like I'm just be like, you're thinking of Scared Stupid from 1995, and you're like, nope.
I'll find it, and then I'll just like scream enough that you can hear it from where you're at.
Coast to coast.
Yep, coast to coast.
What made you want to watch the 10 Commandments? It's a great movie, but I'm curious what made you want to see it.
I had never considered watching it before. I actually didn't even know it was a movie. I knew about it sort of kind of because of the Mel Brooks movie History of the World Part 1. And then Will was like, hey, we should watch this. And I said, what? Oh, sure. Okay, I'm down. Apparently, it's like a masterpiece, and I'm down for that. And we just watched the Prince of Egypt just the other night, and it came up because of that. It's just a great movie.
Prince of Egypt is like one of the best animated movies ever.
Yeah, hands down.
It's so I watched it um, on Passover with my wife and her mother like a couple of years ago, and I was just like blown away because people always reference it as like Disney at its peak,
Oh,
like it's like the best thing they've ever made, and it's hard to argue. Like it's
well,
really.
it's DreamWorks.
Oh, it's not Disney, The Prince of
No,
Egypt.
no, it's a DreamWorks movie. They ended up trying to follow it up with the Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Cloak robe thing, and that failed horrifically. It was really bad. But this was it was DreamWorks, and they had James Baxter as the lead animator, and he went on to also do Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, which was also a fun, good movie, but it's not
That's a
as
great
good.
one.
Yeah.
Wow, Prince of Egypt is not a Disney movie.
It's not.
So when they were saying it's the best thing by this production, I kept thinking that it was Disney.
No, DreamWorks. DreamWorks really
Wow.
messed up by dropping all of their animated, like their 2D animated stuff, but they were
Yeah.
also part of the rat race. Executives had this idea that working in 3D would actually save them time and therefore save them money, and it has actually gone on to be more expensive than 2D animated movies. And it's not
Why
the
would
first
it
time
be-
they.
Sorry.
Because they can reuse assets. You just pose it and you're done. And executives aren't artists. They don't understand how this stuff works. They just go, so we don't have to pay somebody to draw this 80 million times and then draw it again 80 million times just to make it move now that we got the design. Okay, got it. But it's not the same. Now they're paying for more technology.
Yeah. So, is there going to be a return to 2D anime? I mean, probably not, right? Because
Not as a whole, but there's definitely a market for it. Broken Blade, I'm gonna look that up real quick. But there's definitely I know that Leica wants to do a 2D animated movie. China's been putting out some really gorgeous ones.
oh, dude, Chinese animation is absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane.
It's amazing what you can do when you don't care about human health or happiness.
That's true.
Because their animators are probably even more overworked than Japan, and like, and I like because I know Japan famously like works their animators really hard, but China,
do.
I would imagine based on what I know of their work policies, that it's probably even worse.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe you know, I don't know for certain, but it's hard to imagine that they're going to be like the way that they are about certain human rights issues, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, but also like you should definitely make sure you don't overdo it, guys. We want to make sure y'all get some good sleep. Like I don't think they're
Take a break, have a day off. Oh hey, we just circled back around to the 10 Commandments.
yeah, yeah.
There's the whole scene where Moses is like, yeah, I gave them a day off and made sure they have food, and now they want to work for me. It's great. Funny how we do that. Funny how respect does that. So Blade, just to answer your question, no, it is not that. But if you guys look up the word Orientalist paintings, you'll see what I'm looking at. Like it's one of these artists. It's a specific painting, and I cannot find it, but it's in this vein. Orientalist paintings are really cool, very grand.
Have you tried just describing the image to Google and see if it'll find it?
No.
Because I bet that would work.
Yeah, I know. But then I can't talk to people about it.
No, I wasn't being I meant like literally. Do you think that would work? Because I don't know.
Oh.
Because sometimes it goes tits up when you try that.
Here, soft painting, king, lions. Paintings of lions, soft pastels. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not always. Yeah.
Painting. Man
check the chat.
in throne. Panther? Just give me AI reproductions of what I just said.
I knew. I actually, when I said it to you, when I asked that question, I was like, "There's a good. He's gonna get a bunch of AI garbage." Have you heard? There's like a meme going around where they're like about. It was like, "Oh yeah, when you call customer service and they give you a clanker on the phone,"
A clanker?
and I was that's like a slur for like a robot.
Oh,
It's literally from like I think Battlestar Galactica or something like that's
I
what they
love
called
that.
it.
I'm using that
And-
now.
And the people were like, "Oh my God, we're actually at a point where we're starting to have like discrimination against the robots, and it's like as if they're people."
Discrimination against.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
it's not the same thing. They're not sapient.
No, it's not. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
tell the
Well,
taco.
not yet.
I don't think that's even going to happen in our lifetime. I think you and I are going to be on our deathbeds when that happens, and then we can be like, "Thank God
What?
we don't have to be in the Civil War with the robots."
I honestly don't think there's going to be like people keep saying like we're going to lead to it's going to lead to a point where we're like battling them for control of the planet. And I was like, it's probably going to be a lot less cool than that.
It is, yeah.
It's probably going to just be a lot of people losing their jobs, and then finally some legislation comes in that's like, hey, could you stop doing that? But it is weird. There was a whole discussion. Artists, and this was actually like, I can hear the playback. I can hear my own voice on your end.
Uh-oh. Oh. I thought... Wait. Don't I have your
I think it
stream
stopped.
muted? Weird. Yeah, I've got your stream muted, so it should only be your voice. Oh, you had my stream on volume, right?
Sorry?
You had the volume on my stream on, right?
No, I don't have your stream on.
Then why is it echoing?
It stopped already. So
Okay,
whatever it is.
Who's a ghost?
I just thought maybe, yeah.
It's a doppelganger.
Oh, so there was this thing. I actually thought you'd find this interesting. It was like that meme, and not even a meme, just that thing people have been saying where they're like, you know, why not create AI? Sorry, I'm gonna yawn.
How dare you?
Why not create AI for the purpose of like doing menial bullshit, you know, so that people can spend more time on things they love, and instead you're spending time making AI that replaces artists so that more people can like pack boxes, you know, essentially. And that was something that I myself had repeated. Oh, my voice is back. I don't know what's going on over there.
Weird.
Must be a clanker. And that's something that I myself had kind of resonated and repeated. And then somebody made a point. They were talking on one of Sam Does Art, like one of his videos. Somebody left a comment that was pretty smart. They were like, you know, if they replace people moving boxes, that would also be horrible for probably even more people, because people who move boxes and do shit like that, like that's those are people that need work. So like those people losing their jobs is also really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say things like that, when artists say things like that, you sound superior. You sound like you. And I was like, you know, that's kind of true. Like,
you know what it sounds like to me is
fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's a poor mindset of what the world is actually like. It's not taking into account the fact that there might be a reason why somebody has that job outside of, you know, having no other choice. Like, it could be that this is the only job they can get that gives them the hours they need in order to go home and deal with whatever chronic pain they have, or it gives them like there's reasons that these jobs exist outside of the need for the job to exist. Because in order for a job to continue, it not only needs to have a function, it also needs people who can, will, or want to have that job. And by replacing it with robots, you're taking a whole bunch of people who can, will, and want to have that job suddenly don't have any options. And we're just assuming, you know, la la, sparkles and confetti in the air. They want to do other things, darling. Nobody wants to move boxes. Nobody has a reason to want to do these things.
It's true.
We're all of the same body and mindset. It's all the same.
Yeah, no, and the idea of like, oh, you know, then that person can really pursue their passions, and it's like, what if their passion is just making money so they can like put their kid through school?
Yeah.
Like, what if that's like, not everybody has some. There's a bit of solipsism artists have. This like solipsistic view that we're like, oh, everybody deep down has some creativity and they really wish they could do it, and they just don't have the time, or they haven't been lucky, and it's like this kind of empathic condescension, like, you know, like, oh yes, I know that I'm lucky because everybody wishes they could. It's like, well, no, maybe not. Maybe don't give a shit about what you're doing, and they have other things that are important to them. And the idea that artists are going to lose their fucking jobs, pardon my French, from a robot, they're like, I don't care about that, because who cares about comics or whatever, you know? It's just, and they have the right not to care. But it's, and I understand why they wouldn't, because sometimes artists sound a little bit like they're sniffing their own farts. And
We do though. We do
we do. Yeah,
that.
I do mine out of a wine glass,
Well,
like
I
on
mean,
South Park.
I don't know about you, but like legally, we have to do it out of a coupe glass out here. Unless you live in Napa, then you have to do it out of a wine glass because that's wine country.
What's a coupe glass? Give me a visual, please. Tell me about
Um,
it.
a coupe glass is a cocktail glass that is kind of fancy. It's a little round. Hang on, let me look up a picture. Um, oh, hello?
You talking to me?
Computer, computer is not letting me do the thing I'm doing. What is
Oh,
happening here?
it's because I said clanker too many times.
Ugh, took offense, but don't punish me for his thought crimes. Um, coupe glass. But yes. So they kind of look like if you took a champagne glass where they're really tall and thin, and you just kind of squish it down so they're wide and thin instead.
Mhm.
And they're like, you look at a cocktail glass and you're like, ah, yeah, that's one of those things.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like someone took a wine glass and cut it into the thirds.
And so that's how you sniff your farts, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I do mine out of a I do mine out of a rubber hose attached to the side of my house.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah.
right. So you do it the midsummer fashion. Got it. That was really dark.
The visual is just incredible.
um, it's funny. It made me think of I just had a flashback. So before marijuana was legalized in California, you could still buy paraphernalia in smoke shops as long as they just didn't sell the actual product itself. Um,
Mhm.
and when I was a teenager, I used to go into smoke shops to get like crummy little vapes, or sometimes they had like candy and stuff. It just really depended on what you wanted and what was there. And
Mhm.
if you went into the ones that had like hardcore, like these are collectible pipes. They're not meant to be used, okay, but they're glass blown and they're safe and cleanable, and you can put them in the dishwasher. Um, Sometimes on the back wall they would have a gas mask up there, and it was just the weirdest
Ooh.
thing. But the idea was that you could smoke with it, and the carbon in the gas mask would keep the marijuana stink out from wherever it is that you're doing it at, and it just sort of like the facade was gone the moment they started selling those, because it was like, yeah, no, these are just collectible cool glass objects and a gas mask to make things stink less. That thing that you want to smoke that's illegal, it'll make it stink less. That thing.
Yeah. That's like it's like right there in the advertising. It must have lasted like 2 weeks before it was just completely.
Nope.
It's like a confession thing.
Yeah, no, but they're allowed to sell that. There was nothing wrong with selling it. It was just I don't know. It was really weird. The city that I grew. Oh, hang on one second. I'm getting a call from my partner. I will be right back.
Sure. In the meantime, I shall check in
Hello.
with the chat.
What's up?
Let's see. Oh, for anyone approaching my channel for the first time, please give the video a like. And also go to Maya's channel and follow her and subscribe and like all of her videos and send her gold. Broken Blade says, you guys have me thinking about the movie Cat's Eye. I feel like I know that name. Which movie is that, BB? Joseph and the Coat of Dreams. Johnny Pearson says, I support all non-sentient beings' rights and privileges. Dude, are you like simping for the AI overlords, bro? Because come revolution, we're gonna remember you guys, the ones who the ones who sided with the clanker establishment. No, it's fine. I'll never forget where your loyalties were. You know, it's funny. I redrew aspects of this. He still looks kind of handsome, but it's okay. I'll suffer through it. He's definitely a little better looking than I wanted. Maybe if I make the arch of his nose a little bit less steady, more like, yeah, there you go. I should have. I'm gonna call this video the big draw. I don't know why I didn't do that. This is a big draw episode for sure. It's been 3 months. Wow. Um, let me just change this because I think she'll be delighted to know that she's the first guest I've had since the wedding. Really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do feel like sometimes like AI concern gets overblown, and sometimes I don't think it is. I go back and forth. Cat's Eye is based on a Stephen King short story. The last part of the movie is about a cat protecting a young Drew Barrymore from a gnome that was trying to steal her soul. Must have been during Sweeps Week. Um, maybe Canterbury's just a sexy man. It's possible. I have heard. I have heard it from one of the. So there was a fan of Black Mirror 1 who, meaning book 1, who saw Canterbury, and she was like, "You did it again." I was like, "I did what again?" She's like, "You made another thirst trap." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's not what I intended. Here, until she comes back, I'll put some music on. Otherwise, you guys, the only audio accompanying me drawing is going to be just the sound of my heavy breathing. Man, I am delighted that Superman, James Gunn Superman, has passed the 500 million mark. Movie did really well.
I may have
Oh,
returned.
she's back. Everybody,
I'm back.
to your places. I'll turn the music off. Welcome
Puckwudgies,
back.
huh? Hey.
How is everything?
Oh, it's just sort of a Monday. Right? Today's Monday? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He got a group text that I was not privy to because I put my phone on silent, but I guess one of our neighbors is putting her cat down and it got him in a bad mood. He really likes that cat. It's just really upsetting.
Yeah, how old was the cat?
He's like 12.
Wow.
It's a really old cat, but he's been having some pretty bad health problems. Like, he will go into bouts of eating and not eating. He basically only has diarrhea. Like, something in him is shutting down. And it's just, this poor woman, too. Like, she's works in props. And, the industry has just been totally shot, since, kind of since COVID, but especially since the strikes, and there's a ton of people in her particular department that just hasn't had work for like 2 years, and it's become a factor in the health of this cat too. Like, she's been really fighting to keep him going, and it's just really upsetting. Sucks.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Neither of them deserve it. It's a real bummer. But I'm gonna have to make her something nice.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know yet. I saved a photo of this cat like a couple of months ago because there was a moment where she thought she would put him down back then, but then he started eating again out of nowhere. Um,
Mm.
and I figured I was gonna maybe like print it out and put it in a little frame and make a little card or something. But it's either that or I just make sure she's got something to eat. Just one or the other. She's very attached to this animal.
Um, yeah, yeah. I'm not looking forward to that again. I mean, like after I've lost two dogs,
Oh god, yeah.
so like even though this cat is only 3 years old, I'm already there's a part of me that's like, oh man,
Yeah.
one day he will die. I will surely outlive him. Assuming I shouldn't say that. That's what Jews call the evil eye. I've learned that you don't give yourself the evil eye,
Oh yeah, don't do that, yeah.
but I do it all the time. I'm always like, it'll be fine. Everything will be great. My wife's like, she loses it about that. It's one of those things you can't shake that. Even though it's like it doesn't make sense to me how you could be a religious person and still think that if you say the wrong thing, bad luck is going to find you. Like I
It's
don't really
spiritual
understand.
energy. It's manifestation, but with another name.
I guess so. I just don't know how that conflicts with her worldview about like a single omniscient benevolent creator. It's like I just don't it just doesn't make sense. It's like and she can't defend it logic. So at some point she's just like, I just don't like it. Can you just not do it? Can you just not tempt fate? And I'm like, okay. And then I just double down on it. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna win $1 million and I'm gonna live forever.
Wait, so is positive stuff also like bad
Oh
too, or
yeah.
hmm?
Oh, I guess you don't have a lot of Jews in in your life, because I'll tell you right now, positive things are even worse. If you say this is gonna be great, like if you're too positive about something, like
Hmm.
I mean, also I'm joking because obviously a lot of Jews are not going to agree with
Sure.
that viewpoint, but I've encountered that through like the Jewish half of my life, which is her family, and
Yeah, yeah.
that they're very, and and she's joked about it where she's like, well, yeah, because of like the things that have happened to Jews. I was like, that's why why we're a little cautious sometimes,
Hmm.
uh, historically, um, about like saying everything's going to be great. Um,
So it's just
yeah,
like don't invite the need to knock on wood, essentially.
I guess so. I don't know. For me, I just honestly, I can't change the way that I am about this, where I say really positive things. A, because it's my personality, but B, also because I just don't care. I don't care about it. It's like I don't. It's like if it makes you anxious because I'm like because I tempted fate, but it just I can't. There's a limit. I mean, like I'm a really nice guy, but there's a limit to my like the extension of my empathy as far as like how far I'll go into someone else's brain. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. The evil eye though is funny because the I think the Hebrew word for it, maybe, or not Hebrew or Yiddish, I don't know which one, but it's an eye in horror.
That sounds
And
familiar. This is
yeah, and I told.
the those glass beads with the little blue center, right? Like there's a Middle Eastern similar thing.
Oh, is it? I have no idea.
I'll look it up.
But I kept saying that there should be like an indie horror called The Eye in Horror, and it would be just about people tempting fate, kind of like Final Destination.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool, actually. Um,
But it'd be so full of like jokes about American Jews.
um, that's not like an experience I've had a lot of. The area that I grew up in is very Protestant, and the area I live now is quite Jewish, but it's mostly just because there's a lot of temples, and therefore like every Saturday you see like all these cute little families walking around and going to about their day and going to go worship and
Yeah.
stuff. Um,
Are they Orthodox or?
I think so. Um, my knowledge on this is very limited, but it really kind of some appear to be in that realm where the women will wear wigs and the men have the kind of hair in front of their ears and they'll wear like the big hats, the brimmed
Yeah.
hats.
Yeah, I think so I think I learned this through her. The hair in front of the ears, those little like braids or whatever that the guys have. I think they're
Yeah,
called payas. They're called payas.
it's like representative of like what is it, like wheat, leaving a certain amount of wheat left on your in your crops for some reason, or like a
Oh,
reminder of something.
I actually didn't know that. That
I,
you could totally convince me of that being true. I wouldn't be able to argue with
I'm definitely wrong, but it is representative of
you.
something like very very poetic.
The thing that never made sense to me was the women wearing the wigs,
Mm,
because the whole idea is modesty. I'm
mm,
going to offend somebody with this, but bear with me, guys. The whole idea was modesty, like you don't want to show your hair once you're married, because like the beauty you conceal that and share it with your husband. Like that's their belief. I think it's a little intense,
mm.
um, but the thing I don't understand is that they found some loophole where they're like, oh, but you can you hide the beauty of your hair, but then you wear a instead of wearing thing over your head, you wear the wig on top of that, so you still get to have some display of hair. It's just like I thought the whole purpose was to not. It's just it's just like logically, I just don't understand it. And I've told her I didn't understand it, and she was like, "Well, I don't either. It's like that, not really, but just like there's so many denominations
Mm-hmm.
and belief systems about it. But I was just like logically, I don't get it. But like when I was living in New York City, there's so many Hasidic,
Mm-hmm.
so many, and so many of them would come up to me and ask me if I was Jewish, because they do that thing, the Hasidic guys in the street, where they're like they're just trying to figure out who's Jewish. I don't know. I guess to recruit for
Oh, which
um,
temple are you going to? Do you want to come to our event?
yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I would get that question a lot because I think sometimes like I could pass like a Jew, but I'm just I don't know. I think I'm racially very hard to pin down what the hell I am. So I get a lot of questions like that. I get a lot of people thinking I'm Italian.
I can see that.
Um,
Italian, I can see. I'm not sure. I think the idea of the hair, though, like that's actually kind of an old belief. It's not even just like a Jewish thing either. Like there's
no, the
some
Christians had it too. The
yeah
Christians too.
yeah
Yeah.
so like certain sects of evangelicals, like there's a degree of like how you style your hair. You have to ask your husband about it. You have to check in with your elders and make sure that like whatever you do isn't going to like it has dignity, but it doesn't like distract from your countenance, because
Hmm.
if it's too good, if it's too sexy, then you're gonna make somebody stray or something like that. It's wild.
It's also like I think it's the idea that you don't want to be a distraction to the men around you or something like that. But
Yeah,
it's like
because it's your responsibility what they think. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. It just like it also just logically doesn't make that much sense. Like I can acknowledge a woman's attractiveness and then also get on with my day. Like
um
I can just be, I can be like, oh yeah, she's pretty hot, and then I'm like, okay, also I have to eat something, and then you just go on with you just I don't really understand this idea that it's like if you see a woman's hair, it just like paralyzes you, and you're like in a spider web.
you're not repressed. That's the main thing, you know. And I think certain cultures, certain religious cultures, especially in the United States, and I'm gonna get a little bit more specific. Uh, Certain Christian cultures, especially in the United States, are very anti intimacy in that regard, and it can be very repressing in all factors of your life, because they'll always be reminding you, like, don't be thinking about, I don't know, the shape of strawberries, because it's sinful that they look like tongues. And if you're thinking about tongues, then you're thinking about kissing. If you're thinking about kissing, then you're thinking about the devil. It's a weird loop. So it kind of
Where have you encountered that? I'm curious.
that specifically, I made that up, but
Oh, okay. But I just
uh,
mean that type of
the
that level
logic.
of
Um,
yeah.
just
Where
kind of
you
through a bit of research, really. And primarily, I've been looking into evangelicals a lot more, just because it's very relevant. It kind of takes over a good chunk of our like lower southeastern side, midwestern side of the United States is all
mhm.
very very traditional, and evangelicals are a big part of that. And within those sects are a lot of kind of little tiny in-group cult-like things. And the one in particular I've been listening into podcasts about and researching just sort of idly has been one called IBLP, which is the group that the Duggars are a part of, and it's um,
Which ones are the Duggars? Are they the ones that were like in the news because a bunch of them were messed?
19 Kids and Counting was the show they had on TLC.
Oh,
Uh,
and then one didn't one of them go to jail for
yeah,
like
the worst things. The worst things.
yeah
Yeah. And we don't have to
yeah
get into that, but and I'm not pointing these things out as if it's like the actual culture. If you go to just West Virginia, that's going to be somebody's going to be like, hey, your hairstyle's too
yeah
sexy. I'm thinking about things. But it's the same with even in Mormons have the same kind of line of thinking. It comes down to like, well, you can't be thinking about these things because it's a slippery slope into sin. And so everybody's just always scared of everything. So the idea of being afraid of looking at a woman whose haircut just looks a little bit nice today kind of checks out for some people.
Hmm.
Really big, big bold around the word some because it's really not many,
Yeah
but it's
yeah
there.
no I would argue that I don't really know because I was raised like Catholic, and Catholics are kind of just like whatever about a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. They can be kind of conservative, but like generally like they're very I most of the Catholic teachers that I encountered were actually pretty like pro sex. They were very like they talked about it as a healthy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I would meet one of the teachers in my Catholic school who would make some offhand comment that would sound like really insane. Um, but then it was interesting to see the culture of the other Catholics react to them as being like, oh, that guy's fucking nuts, you know.
That's funny.
And yeah, but it's like you still get them in there. You still get the because and it's I was in an argument, not an argument. I was in a discussion with my brother about it because he was like saying it was like, does religion bring that out of people, or are people who are OCD like that drawn toward religion?
That's a
Um,
good question.
and you really, it's like it's the chicken or the egg, you know. And I do think that yeah, beliefs. I think any belief system, um, the minute that you start forming structure around beliefs, and this is not to say that beliefs shouldn't have structure, like absolutely need
Mm-hmm.
to have some, but it is you're gonna see a small percentage of the population that just like makes it like dogmatic in a way. Also, the reading history has been so informative for me because the association people have with like Abrahamic religions as being very like weird about sex, it's actually like kind of a recent thing.
Yeah, it's very
like
recent.
like looking at medieval history, if you had talked, and this is something that I've thought about a lot because as I'm working on the King Arthur book, and this like this it's this romantic, there's going to be lots of, I don't think there'll be like full on sex scenes, but there probably will be a lot of like sensuality and in the love stories, and like
Red blooded heavy metal. Gotta
yeah
have it.
yeah yeah, just like because King Arthur and Guinevere, I'm just like, I think that love story is like, I think it, if you handle it right, it's like it's romantic, it's sexy, it's complex, it's all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I was thinking, I was reading a lot of history about like medieval Christians and how many of them were like, if you had tried to tell them that sex was the original sin and that they shouldn't, and that it shouldn't be pleasurable, and that people should just like, they would have laughed at you. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, would have been that's insane. Like the thing that they kept, their mindset was like, well, the Bible says be plentiful and like multiply, and like
Mm-hmm.
like God, like they were like, well, God just wants us to like totally bang all the time, like that's like. And then you have a certain thing after the Black Plague where the Bible, they started interpreting it differently because the church was like in a whole thing with it's really interesting actually,
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of women inherited a bunch of wealth because a lot of men died during the plague.
Mm-hmm. And a lot
And
of
then the
land.
church, yeah, and a lot of land. And when those women were able to remarry because they had economic power, they were marrying based on love. Like
Mm-hmm.
they didn't need to marry a lord. They could marry like a guy who was just like in the fields.
Yeah, it was no
And when
longer a
that,
business transaction because they were taken care of.
yeah, and so because of that, the church started getting a little. This is according to the history I read. I'm sure it's biased, but
Mm-hmm.
according to the history I read, the church was getting a little scared, and so they started to. That's when you started getting that like weird misogyny streak
Mm-hmm.
in the Bible interpretations of like, oh, it's because Eve bit the apple. That's where sin comes from, because the church was trying to lower the social position of women in response to like women getting a lot of power, or at least some women getting a lot of power.
It was
At least
my.
that's what they say. I don't know.
I wish I could recall where I heard this one too. But in line with that, it was my understanding that the actually I might have heard this from the Faithful Executioner. Some of the witch hunts around the same time came from the idea that like here's an opportunity. If I can just get this woman out of the way, I can take her land. I can take her whatever
Yeah.
she's got left.
I had heard that, yeah. But the witch hunts, just for clarity's sake, are actually a pretty modern thing. They don't start until like the 17th, 18th century. Um,
No, there were some
like
in
a,
the 1500s, 1400s.
there's very few instances of before like colonialism and before people like before you get the tricorner hats.
Yeah.
Because the medieval, this is actually really fascinating. The medieval position on witchcraft is so different than the Victorian position on witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the Victorians, like, you know, the trials in Salem and all that stuff, like they were full convinced that witches were everywhere, and that, you know, all this scary stuff was happening. But in medieval Europe, like 200 or 300 years before that, their belief about witchcraft was like that it wasn't really real. And if a woman was claiming she had witchcraft, they were like, they told her to repent. It wasn't, apparently, it was interesting, it wasn't to repent for doing witchcraft, it was to repent for your arrogance that you think you can change the natural world by like wishing really hard. They were like, that's just delusion. You should say you're sorry for that because that shows you lack humility, whatever. But there's like lots of really interesting cases, men trying to accuse women of witchcraft in the Middle Ages, and like a local priest being like, yeah, that's not real, go home. Like, like, let's go home. Like this one guy tried to go to his local in some village, and he was like, this woman cast a spell on me and she made my junk disappear. And he was like full on convinced that he didn't have a penis anymore.
That's really funny.
And the priest was like, show me. The priest was like, show me. I'll see it. If she made it disappear, you know, we'll talk about it. And the guy drops his pen. The priest is like, your penis is right there. Like, it's he was like, bro, you're just mad. Like, you're just insane. Like, so he's like, don't trouble me with this crap anymore. And the guy was like,
Listen,
no,
I know it's small, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. He's like, it's seen better, but it's better than nothing, you know. Yeah, so I love that story, because that's like, for me, it was really informative, because for years I thought it was like the church was like waiting to just like go after people, but in reality they were like, we just don't bother us with this crap, we have things to do. But then something happens in the Victorian age, people just start getting like, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the culture was changing and like technology was on the rise, so people were kind of shrinking back toward paranoid superstition. Yeah, I don't know, it's really interesting, because you can see the same thing. I promise I'm almost done rambling. You can see the same thing happen at the turn of the century in like the 1900s, when technology has another big boom after World War One, and then like people start doing seances and stuff. Like, people want to, there's this thing in humans where every time technology takes a leap forward, we react by wanting to or a sense of magic to the world. And it's just something that we've been doing throughout history that I find really interesting, and I don't know what it is psychologically.
I think it's like a degree of like trying to pull away. It's like an opposite, right? Like everything that we do in society sort of works on a pendulum, and if when you have many pendulums, they tend to swing back and forth. And that's not to say that it's just because it's just where we're at now. I think it is in reaction to a burst in it, and I think it partly means that we have more time to be creative because we're a little bit more bored more often, right? So when technology swings in the direction of like, these things are giving us more time or taking care of more of these things for us, you have more idleness, or you don't have to think as hard about stuff, then it's or things are a little bit harder because of it, and so you're want to daydream. So then the pendulum of creativity swings back in the other direction. And we're like, well, you know what?
Yeah.
I sleep with crystals under my pillow now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you get the woo-woo stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that stuff. A lot of it
No,
is I think a lot of it is really, it's harmless, and, you know, could be based in some kind of reality. I don't know. I mean, like my friend, he married this lovely woman who's like full on believes in like the power of crystals. And she'll like, and it's really funny because he's very the like atheist type. Like, his brain is just very like, if I don't see it, if I can't, if it's a construct of any kind, I can't, you know. But he lovingly accepts it, because the gesture of her putting protection crystals in his backpack for him is like he finds it cute and sweet, and he's like, it gives her peace of mind to feel that she's protecting me in some way. So he's like, yeah, that's great. But you know, to me, he's like, yeah, I don't know what the hell this is, but I got like 8 pounds worth of crystals in my backpack.
Listen, he can accept the cool rocks and be happy that that she loves him.
Yeah,
but it is kind of a place of honor, right? Like the It's one of the reasons why I've had people in the past ask me if it's okay for them to pray for me, and the answer is yeah, absolutely. I just thank you for thinking of me. It's super sweet. Um,
Well, why do they need your permission though? I had never.
um, they
It's
don't,
weird.
but it's happened. I kind of what I think it is. I think some of the people who I have lived around or been around who are religious and I'm not might have at the time of them asking me had this impression that I'm that kind of atheist, but I'm not, and I'm not. Um, but
Yeah,
I think it's also just maybe considered more polite too. Maybe. Uh, I've never really questioned why they'd asked me that before, aside from their
yeah,
acknowledgement that I'm not a Christian and therefore they were doing me some kind of courtesy by asking.
yeah. I mean, it's like, well, for one thing, you're not militant in any way about anything.
That's
And I
true.
would also
I
say
should be.
you're not really, based on the way you talk about it, you don't seem an atheist. You seem more like an agnostic, where you're like, yeah, there could be something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's closer. That's
Um,
closer to it.
I mean, but I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted it. But
No, I'm not an atheist.
because yeah, because I know
They're
you said that
annoying.
your partner. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, no, I there was something that like um I get everybody has different beliefs, and sometimes religious people can be annoying in a comment section when they invoke religion. But like, there's other instances I've seen where atheists can be just awful.
They can. Not
Like
all of them.
somebody, there was like a video of a little girl being cute that I sent it to my wife in the comments, and there was a guy in the comments being like, God bless this little girl, keep her safe. It was like a
Oh,
harmless little statement,
yeah.
and there were like 20 atheists responding being like, God is a real fucking retard, and just like cursing him out. And like,
That's
I was
rude.
like, why would you he's not hurting anybody, like. And it's just like there is a kind of weird like autismal rage that I'm seeing among like the debate bros online, like the
Mm.
militant atheist types. And I was like, all the things that you don't like about really religious people, you're doing the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Like the things that I couldn't stand about people that were like Bible thumpers when I was a kid, like you're doing those things, like you're just doing it in the opposite direction, to the point where it's like it's your religion, like your religion is getting really mad at religion. But
Yep.
but there was something you said that I wanted to expand on. I forgot.
You
I
were
know.
mentioning Will for a second, and then
Yeah,
you switched up the direction of your topic. I had mentioned that I thought people praying for me was a rather flattering and honorable position to be in with people, just because they're thinking about you.
right. That was it. Yeah, that I was. That's very sweet that people would ask you that, because it's like almost like it's like, does this violate your sense of ownership over your soul if I
Hmm.
if I invoke my personal, my God or something. It's interesting. Well, that's what it is. I wanted to respond to something in the comments that Nim says something interesting. She says that is in response to our discussion of how the church was changing its interpretation of the Bible. She says
Oh
that is
yeah.
crazy. She says that is crazy, especially since there's a biblical part where Jesus himself says, "Hell no, it's not the woman's fault," and
Yep.
that's true. Um, yeah, and it's like there's a lecture I saw about it where this guy was like, um, it's both of their fault, like that they when in this story that it's like a fairy tale where they get banished from Eden. They both made the same mistake, but the reason that we should actually judge that story kind of harshly is because if you read that part of the Bible, when God says like, why did you eat the apple, he just says like, she made me do it. he's just he's just being like, he's literally just being like, if things were fine before you brought that woman here, and then she got it, which is like the most unappealing thing a man can do,
Yeah.
is to just blame a woman and take no accountability, like
It's
the lack of
fatherless
accountability.
behavior.
And it's like she she made her mistake, but then makes his mistake and then tries to pin it on her because he's like, and it's because he's freaking, he's panicking,
Hmm.
and it's like understandable. But in the story, it's like if you want to interpret it as a discussion about male and female and like masculine and feminine energies, it's like that's him at his low.
Hmm.
Is not accepting accountability and trying to blame trying to blame his wife as if she like forced him to eat it. Um, it's actually really interesting to look at it that way, and then you're like, oh right, yeah. So he basically like the loss of the loss of divinity from eating the apple really makes him into this like dorky idiot who like
But I didn't
can't.
want to do it. She said if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't, I didn't get to touch her boobies. I don't know. I'm being a little
Yeah.
rude here, but
No, it's great.
you know,
Well, yeah, Nim. Nim says there's a lot in the witch alternate religion community too that they go too far and it takes extremes. I just saw something that was like people were like, I mean, the, okay, guys. Sometimes I watch trash. All right, I'm gonna
how dare you?
confess. Sometimes I watch YouTube where people just make fun of TikTokers.
Brain rot. Brain rot. Get out of here.
Yeah, I do. I do. Sometimes I like a little bit of brain rot, especially when I'm out like running. I'll just listen to people like make jokes. And one of them was people watching the cringiest like TikTok videos about witches, modern things that they do. And yeah, one of them was hilarious. This woman was, I mean, this is like straight up schizophrenia where she was claiming, and you shouldn't laugh at this, but I didn't laugh at her. I laughed at the jokes that someone was making about her, which is somehow better. Um, but she was saying like if you're having a rough day at home, you should probably consider that your house is giving you a hard time, so you should like talk to your house and apologize. And it, like she says, you should say hi and goodbye to every single object to let them know you respect them. And I was like, that is like, first of all, how do you have time for anything else
Sometimes,
in your life?
sometimes feminine energy goes wrong. I'm just,
Sometimes.
yeah, just sometimes. You know, like every person whom I've met who's like, either like witch adjacent or like actually a witch or whatever, they would look at that and go like, okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because you know people who are Wiccas, right? That haven't.
my sister, one of my sisters, and she and I don't really talk about it all that much. I just sort of like, okay, cool. My mom made her a broom though. Like she went out of her way to like hand make her a broom. I thought that was really cool.
Did your sister like that, or was she like, we don't
she-
ride brooms, mom?
She was really touched. It was like a thing where she puts it up over the doorway as like a protection thing or something. I don't actually know
Yeah,
the
it's cool.
full thing, but you know, I live in I live in Hollywood. Everybody's got crystals under their pillows. One of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
neighbors is very like I've been asking the universe to help me out with some of these things type of person.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's just there's I mean, come on. There's a loss of words here. It's just very. Even they would look at that and go like, "Uh huh, sure."
Well, because
you could."
I get the idea behind a lot of Wiccan stuff where it's like you should look at trees and animals as being like a part of the world around you
Because
that
they
you
are, yeah.
interact with.
Mhm.
You know, and like I think that that's great. You know, it's like
Yeah.
because I myself like even though like I'm kind of loosely Christian, it's like I get that and I think it's valid and I think it's like actually a beautiful way of looking at the world, and you can find some justice in some of that. You know,
Yeah,
as far as like doing the right thing.
Everything
Um,
deserves dignity, right? Like,
Yeah.
and somebody else in comments is Nim saying that there's belief in other countries that have things wrong in your house means something needs reorganizing. It's, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of all of that, right?
Yeah.
I've heard, you know, just sort of through osmosis of living life, similar things from other cultures and what have you, of like, you gotta respect the objects, you gotta respect the living things around you, because that's just how we function. You want to keep kindness in your heart and whatever. I don't need to make sure that my cast iron pan knows that I didn't mean it when I slammed it down a little too hard. I'm pretty sure it is incapable of knowing. But I do need to take better care of it. It needs a good scrubbing and a re-seasoning. It's two different things.
Well, I think it's maybe a mechanism for keeping oneself to their environment, but I also feel like when you said feminine energy goes wrong, I do think maybe it's like it's kind of an extension of it's almost like the extreme. There's this interesting theory, and I'm gonna get into some. I hope this isn't too controversial, but autism in men historically was referred to as the extreme male personality.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's super funny because it's like, you know, the traits of a male of a, you know, not every man, but like men not as good at as women are at reading other people sometimes. Like we can be a little bit more blunt. We could, you know, like although you know a lot of
totally
us.
get it.
Yeah, so I like they used to historically categorize autism in men as like the extreme, like it's just taking those male elements and going too far. I see Broken Blade in the chat laughing.
He's
So
just really masculine. He doesn't
yeah,
understand emotions. He has trouble remembering faces. He's having
yeah.
a listen. I just women don't have these problems. There's no autistic women. There's only this.
Interestingly, so there is autism in women, but
Yes,
it's
there
still
is.
it's still more prevalent in men.
Mm.
And so what they said is like what this theory that was kind of abandoned for just because it fell out of
Blatantly
favor.
incorrect. Blatantly incorrect.
Well, it was the idea that when you see like what they called quote unquote the histrionic woman of like a woman who's like that there is a sexist element to it, but
Of
like
course.
the idea of a woman who's hyper emotional to the point where like you can't even talk to her because she's like that whatever they called it back then area. The idea was that that might have been the female equivalent, that it was like because they're so feminine that it's like and like this was a
woman for you to handle. That's why she's crying.
yeah, I don't know.
Jeez.
It's really it's like, and I was watching this documentary about it and I'm laughing. I'm like cackling
Horrible.
like crazy. Because the idea is like, because literally it was like people back then were just like, well, men are just fucking dumb and women are crazy. And that's science. And I was like, what?
Boy, it, sure.
And then they were like, we can close the book on this, gentlemen.
We did it, guys. We figured it out.
They wrote a book on it. It's just 2 pages. The page 1 is like men are too dumb to know things, and like page 2 is women are crazy to talk to, or whatever. I don't know. It's just
Nobody functions.
It made me laugh. I laughed like a madman. I was like, I laughed like a crazy person when I heard that, because I was like, I could totally see why someone would come to that conclusion. But yeah, no. So when you talk about, the reason I brought that up is because when I saw this woman who's like talking about how she regularly apologizes to like her post-it notes and like she like has quiet time with like her air conditioner to tell her air conditioner that she appreciates it, and to like, and every time an appliance malfunctions in her house, she's like essentially saying that it's doing it on purpose, and that you should talk to it and let it know you appreciate it. I was like, oh, this is like there's a feminine element to this that it's like, because the feeling and empathy, not that men don't have it, and not that every woman has, but like it's just taking that empathy and that desire to be kind and to create community and just taking it to an extreme that is comical and like like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, wow. I was like, I could totally see a trace of this just like being normal, and then this person, this woman was just like, nobody, like even probably the other witches that she knows are probably like, yo, that's nuts, you got to stop that. Like, talking to a plant is one thing, because you're like, the sound of your voice, it's been proven to like help plant life,
Plus, I like my plant, and his attitude is going too far.
Yeah, I mean, well, have you heard that, the idea that if you speak to a plant softly, it lets it grow, if you talk to it sweet, and all that?
I've also heard they like heavy metal music. It's something about the vibration, or like the
that's real.
Yeah. So it's either the vibration, or that it promotes more CO2. I've heard that it could be something about like pest control, like something about the vibrations ward off certain things if you're playing like music with them or something. The thing is that a lot of these tests are mostly kind of done, as I understand it, sort of what's called in vitro, which means that it's in a lab. There's not a lot of other factors involved aside from the 2 things they're testing, which is, I have a plant, is it alive? When I play music, is it still alive? Is it better? So I would be interested to hear if any of this changes if you have a plant outside and you go to that plant every day for 2 minutes, and you have another plant outside in the same area, but you don't go to that one every day for 2 minutes, and you just tell it how much you love it or don't, and see what happens. But
yeah.
You gave me
That's
a flashback, though, like such a horrible flashback. I take it back. I'm being very cruel. This woman who wants to apologize to her post-it notes has something going on. When I was a kid, our first family computer was this, like, awful mess. It did not like to function. It would constantly just freeze and shut down, and the only time it would actually go back to work is if we said something nice about it.
Whoa.
We had to encourage it. We had to encourage it to get back to work.
You see, okay, she was right.
Yeah, I was wrong.
She was right. Yeah.
I'm being very mean to this woman. I'm just not a woman's woman. That's a problem.
Yeah, as soon as the stream ends, Maya comes up to me and she goes, I don't believe in supporting other women. I just don't. I just
Uplifting glass ceilings? No, thank you.
don't. No one helped me. Why should I help them?
Listen, this beard's growing in for a reason, and it's not because it's because I'm so masculine. There's a joke
Yeah.
there. There's a joke there. I can make it work. But
Workshop.
workshop. If I get it right in chat, I can get it right on stage. Okay. But I don't know. Like, I think the idea of inviting positivity into your life is a good thing, and if that's one way that this person does it, then more power to her. It just maybe also feels like she's not coping with a certain degree of insecurity if she needs to make sure that her broom knows that it's okay, that it's still a little dirty on the bottom. I'm sorry, I haven't brushed you out yet. I don't know. I'm just making things
Yeah,
up.
no, I mean, I'm interested in seeing where that takes you. I want to talk to you in 2 weeks and find out that you've been like trying to reason with your copy machine, and
There's
I don't
no
know why you
reasoning
haven't.
with a coffee machine, and I think you know this.
Yeah,
No, I'm not gonna do that. I already talked to myself enough in the car.
Oh yeah, do you do that when you're working from home? You just talk. I sometimes talk to myself, and I catch myself like in my. I'll just like start saying something out loud that like I think Dan talked about this once, where he was saying like when he was working so much from home, he was starting to get really weird, and he would just be like, "I'm gonna get milk today. I'm gonna get." And then he would catch his reflection in the mirror and be like, "I need to go outside." Like he would just have those moments.
I get moments like that, but mostly if I'm in the car and I'm listening to like a podcast or something, I'll respond to the podcast or I'll start singing songs. I'll make up songs in the car.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's mostly there. That's my be weird zone, because then nobody expects to see me in the window doing something funky, even though
Yeah.
they do and they will. And you're welcome, 405. You're welcome.
Oh, it's okay. So something that I do, and I've never told anybody this. You ready, internet? You ready for something? I buried a woman in a field. No, it's that I when I'm writing a script for something, I sometimes will act out the dialogue first.
Oh yeah, yes.
You do that too?
Sometimes.
And I'll do that in the car while I'm driving.
Will and I will occasionally, like, if we're playing a game, we'll do the voices together. It's a lot of fun. I love doing that.
I totally get why that would be. Yeah, but that's much more understandable.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense to me. The thing about, because like the reason I do the dialogue thing, it started as me doing it because well, I found that my writing improved once I started.
Oh, because you're like acting it out, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're realizing what doesn't work, and then I found out Robert E. Howard would do that when he was working on Conan and Solomon Kane. He would literally read the entire story out loud before he would, finalize it, because a big part of his writing was like the sound of the words together in sequence, like forming a rhythm and a cadence, and just, which is something that's also weirdly important to me. Like I really like that. I really think about how language sounds, like literally the sound of it, like words in sequence, and making sure that a sentence is like that it has a nice bouquet of like long A's and short A's and high,
bouquet is a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's being pretentious. Enjoy that.
No,
everybody.
But I like it. It's good. It's poetic.
Oh, Broken Blade says I act out scenes a lot. Yeah, you see, okay, it's not just me. That's great.
I personally, like, I'll do it when I'm like having trouble with a pose or something, but I have a very strong inner voice of shame, and one of the things that I've not yet been able to shake is fully talking to myself and acting things out when I'm alone. But I'll do it in front of Will. If he's there, I'll rubber duck the hell out of him.
You'll rubber duck the hell out of him. What does that even mean?
Oh,
please.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so rubber ducking is something that programmers do if they're having trouble with a piece of code or a little bit of logic or something. They'll pull out a rubber duck and they'll talk the problem out to the duck. We're circling back again. By talking it out, it makes it easier for them to kind of piece the puzzle together and then figure things out. So rubber ducking is a real technique. So if I'm having trouble with like an action or something that I'm trying to describe, if I've not drawn it out yet, or if I've only just crumbly done it, I'll make Will look at it and I'll go over like what the panels are and say, does this make sense? Do you see the flow? Do you see the connecting
Yeah,
tissues?
I get that. That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't really that. I didn't know programmers did that. I didn't think they needed to talk to anybody ever.
Uh, I mean, if they didn't, they would. No, wait, no, yeah, that's true.
I just imagine programmers are hatched from an egg, knowing what they need to know.
That might be true too. Um, I think I've got to start hopping off here in
Yeah.
a couple of minutes, but I wanted to at least ask one question that I wasn't able to follow up on before, but I'm trying to get more into superhero comics because my dumbass is just not connected to that anymore. And I
Yeah.
think I asked a little while ago, and then just never followed up with it. Do you guys have any suggestions?
Oh,
I went back and I started reading oh god, what did I start reading? God damn it, it's a Frank Miller one. It's the Frank Miller Batman. I started reading that again.
it's called Dark Knight Returns
Yeah.
or Batman Year.
It's year one. It's year one. Thank you. Year one. I read that years ago, but I'm getting back into it. But I've already read Watchmen. I might need a reread. V for Vendetta is on my shelf, but I'd love some suggestions.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you right now, Alan Moore, writer of V for Vendetta and Watchmen, he's a solid writer in
Mhm.
his youth, and not so much anymore. I think he's lost his mind. But
Yeah. Well, there's other conversations to be had on that one, I think.
yeah, but as a superhero fan, I find that I lament and I mourn how many people's like first